Hello and welcome. My name is Shawn Williams, and I'm the Associate Professor of Political Science here at Campbellsville University. Thank you for joining us for our webcast series. This is one of a series of interviews that we're doing with candidates who are running for city, county, and legislative office here in Central Kentucky. I've been joined today by one of our candidates. If you don't mind introducing yourself to the viewers who might not know you.
Sure, I'm Mayor Tony Young. I've been mayor for Campbellsville for almost 8 years. I'm married to Tanya. I've been married for 42 years. We have two sons, Troy and Tyler. We have two wonderful granddaughters, Erica and Jacqueline, and then we have daughter-in-laws, and then three granddaughters, which is Aubrey, Kinley, and Harper. And of course, I've got a golden retriever, my best friend, Willie. And you know, Campbellsville's my home. My family's here. I'm educated here. I'm a methodical person. I like things done right, and I like making decisions with good research and so forth. And I like things neat and organized, and sometimes maybe too much. A lot of people want a quick answer. I like to do my homework and research an answer and make sure I get the best answer possible. I have a sense of purpose. Whenever you have company coming, you clean up your house, you put things in order, and you make things look their best. I'm a mayor that builds things. I'm a mayor that makes things better. And I'm a mayor that likes to do things together.
This will be your third term in office if you're reelected. What are some of your motivations for running for reelection?
I just enjoy working with people. I enjoy making things happen. I enjoy building things and renovating things and making things better. And I just lived here all my life. I've worked in manufacturing for 35 years. I graduated Campbellsville High School. I went to Taylor County Schools. I graduated from Campbellsville University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration and an MBA. I've been placed in positions that's difficult and things that make that other people didn't want to do. They were failing efficiencies or failing quality levels, and I was required to figure out what it would take to fix those things. And that's what I've always done. It's similar, doing that with the city, learning to fix things and make things better.
What are some of the priorities that you have that you would like to try to accomplish in your next term in office?
Right. Well, there's three things that are really important. Naturally, the sewer improvements, you know, stopping the overflows. You know, it's a 30 or 40-year-old problem, but I'm going to fix it. You know, it's not an easy fix, and it's not a quick solution. And I've contacted multiple consultants and getting their consulting and their expertise on what to do. I'm seeking the best course of action to take. Determine how large a transmission line is or a containment system that will hold the stormwater until it runs off slowly. You know, it's not a one-person decision, but I'm going to find a solution, and it's not going to be just a temporary fix. It's going to be fixed. That's one of the main things. Another big thing that's important to me is the swimming pool. Mm-hmm. The swimming pool is a priority to me. I have a lot of memories with the pool personally and then with my family, you know, and I want to, you know, decide either to repair it or build a new one. You know, it's a 30 or 40-year-old problem. You know, it's been repaired so many times that the welds have been welded. And it's estimated that it's going to cost about $250,000 to repair it, and it'll probably only last 4 or 5 years. So we have to decide, what do we do? Fix it and keep our fingers crossed and hopefully it'll work, or sometimes we have to decide what's the best thing to do. And I've got a committee set up, and they're going to help me investigate and determine what to do, and then it'll be up to the council and all of us to thinking together on what to do. The other thing I want to do is that I think it's important that a new recreational complex be built. You know, you've heard it that if you build it, they will come. You know, over the years, I've traveled to numerous places, and I've looked at several ballparks far and wide. And there's vendors there set up to sell their wares, and there's food trucks there on site. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles come to watch their kids play ball. And I can envision people coming to our town and running to our local stores to pick up snacks, and sleeping in our hotels and eating in our restaurants, and gassing up for the trip home. I can see our local children playing in our parks, and maybe a splash park in between them to entertain them during the little ones during the game, and maybe even camping on site and playing in a water park in that location. So those are three big main important things that I think is important to this community, and I want to see through and get them solved.
When I talk to people who live in Campbellsville and ask them, so what are some of your major concerns? One of the first things that always comes up is the question of economic competitiveness. How well Campbellsville does at either creating new business or attracting business from other areas. Do you think that Campbellsville can be more competitive? What are some of the strategies that you might have for pursuing that?
Right now, the city of Campbellsville annually invests $150,000 to our local economic authority, and I think that we must make our things look their best. Campbellsville is a regional hub. This is the place that people want to be. Places are looking for things that we have, and they're considering to locate in our town. So I'm cleaning up things. I'm fixing blighted areas and creating beautiful landscapes and sidewalks and transportation as well as recreation. Alley beautifications and along with downtown revitalization. We have plenty of water, we have a beautiful lake, we have excellent hospital, and we have great schools. Transportation is improving with our southern bypass. We have a vibrant downtown, and that's the heartbeat of our community. Sports recreation facilities, good things are ahead for our community. So I feel good about what we're doing, and I feel like that good things are getting ready to happen and continue to happen for Campbellsville.
When another thing that comes up a lot, at Campbellsville University especially, we have a very good school, Campbellsville University. We have two local high schools, public school systems. Our high school system, Taylor County, is highly rated. The elementary school, Campbellsville, is very highly rated. People who live in the community are worried about how do you create the kind of jobs that their students, that their children will want to take whenever they graduate from our schools. Do you think there's anything that we can do to target specifically the higher paying, higher income jobs rather than just manufacturing?
We know Campbellsville is a place that we're working to recruit new industries and new businesses and new restaurants. I got caught up in job loss myself right in the middle of my career, and I know how it is to be without a job and trying to raise a family and trying to do what we can to make places want to be here in Campbellsville. So that's why I'm working to make our place, the place that Campbellsville, the place that people want to be. You know, we're partnering with the local schools. We've invested $125,000 in a new vocational training building that's getting ready to be hopefully opening soon. And we're trying to do what we can to improve our workforce abilities to be just what industry wants when they come here and be specialized training and be able to offer that to those as they come. And I want everybody an opportunity to have come to Campbellsville and live and raise a family and have an opportunity to make a good living. And I believe that we're positioning ourselves very well. And Campbellsville's got some good things coming. I think we're going to hear some really good news soon. And I'm excited about where we're going. We just got to keep working at it. We're challenged. We're against 120 other counties in Kentucky that are wanting the same thing. But I think Campbellsville is ideal for what they're looking for. And some good news is going to happen in Campbellsville here real soon.
The flip side of business competitiveness and job creation is the opioid crisis. Certainly Kentucky is no stranger. It's as bad here as it is probably in any state in the country. And we have our share of concerns with drug abuse in Taylor County. Should or could the city of Campbellsville be doing more to address the opioid crisis, or do you feel that it's really mostly a state level problem?
You know, it's heartbreaking, whether it's a state level or federal level. It's here in town. It's here. Local families are being affected, and it's heartbreaking. It's a big problem. It's a complex problem. The city police does police the stealing and selling of prescription drugs, and we provide emergency care. We provide a drop-off for excess prescriptions, and we're partnering with the Healing Place each year to provide be a conduit for $200,000 to go annually. You know, it's just prevention is the answer. I think it comes down to you and I talking to our young adults and letting them realize that sometimes you don't get a second chance. You know, this first bad decision sometimes can really be a problem. and you don't get a second chance with some of these dangerous drugs that are in our community. And I think we have to lean on our adults and our faith-based groups to help us, because it's not just in Campbellsville, it's throughout the nation and throughout the world.
In the last couple of legislative cycles, both the state legislature and the mayor have been pursuing a round of budget cuts. Essentially, they're taking revenue away from local governments to balance the budget to deal with the state level pensions.
Right.
Do you think that the state's efforts to reduce spending have been hampering the ability of cities like Campbellsville to effectively address the needs of their citizens?
Absolutely. You know, we received news this year that the budget that we're on right now, our obligations to state pensions have increased nearly $200,000 annually over the last year. That's a huge blow to us. And what's bad about that, it's not just this year, it's 4 more years to come. We're receiving less and less money from the state on transportation. So we've got to figure out what can we do to make our money go as far as we can. And just do everything that make the most out of our money. So we have to work together and figure out things. And one of the things that we've done is we've purchased our own blacktopping equipment, so that we're able to blacktop our own streets now. You know, we don't get the money that counties get to have funding for our roads, and so we are doing our own blacktopping, use our own equipment, using our own people, our own personnel, and now we're blacktopping twice as much as we were. So there are ways to figure out things to make things work, and it's just a challenge now with budget cuts. But I think our personnel are second to none, and we're stretching our money as far as we can. It is going to be a challenge to continue with handling these cuts.
Do you feel that the city is reaching a place where additional revenue sources will be necessary? Mm-hmm. Do we need to start looking at tax increases to cover those costs?
Well, we've not increased taxes since I've been mayor, and I don't plan to. Our local school systems have increased taxes. It's been difficult, and we felt it's best not to raise taxes locally. You know, so again, as we mentioned, we've got to figure out ways to do our things, stretch our money as far as we can. So we're evaluating our processes. We're putting in new procedures, and we're doing a good job of spending our money efficiently. You know, one good thing I want to do is look outside the box. We have Kentucky Wired coming right through our community right now, high-speed internet. None of the local providers are really picking up on it. So I think us as a city can use our own right-of-ways and pick up on the Kentucky Wired, and we can offer maybe a gig to each family. Can you imagine a gig coming to each household at the same price? So I think that's a possibility of a source of revenue the city may have to right under our nose. So I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to exploring that. I think it's a possibility. What we want to do is build a trunk line throughout our city, connecting our city facilities and our city assets. And from that, we can build infrastructure to actually connect homes. And I think we can provide the service for the same price they're paying now. So can you imagine getting that much of that quality of a service at the same price?
Earlier, you had talked a little bit about the need to clean up your home if you're inviting guests. Mm-hmm. Certainly, the city of Campbellsville has undergone a number of renovation projects, and I know there's a lot of talk about future renovation projects. Are there any particular that you feel the city has done well, or maybe the city needs to be pursuing in the future?
I don't think you can ever stop cleaning up your house. I don't think you can ever stop trying to make things better. So we've remodeled the Civic Center. We've got a nice, beautiful place for the council to meet, and numerous offices that the city supports through the community. You know, we've renovated the old depot into the new police station. You know, that was really an ideal time that you can see the city spirit actively working by our police officers volunteering their time to renovate that old building and turn it into a beautiful state-of-the-art facility. You know, downtown Main Street, the alleyways, the grist mill, celebrating our heritage, cleaning up an area that you couldn't even, it wasn't even safe to be in. The school there next to where the grist mill is located there now, our city school. The superintendent came to me and said, you know, our students are calling this the ghetto school because of all the old bad, dangerous buildings. You couldn't even see the creek. So we cleaned that up. The council decided to clean that up. We put a new road through there. And now it's a beautiful place that people can come and remember the Campbell brothers and how Campbellsville was actually started. And To answer your question, I don't think you ever get through cleaning up your house. The old armory, for example, we painted that old armory, put new windows in, new roof, new heating system, and we're getting ready to replace the bathrooms and ready to open that back up. But what happened there? It's kind of like what happens when I'm at home. I mow my yard, my neighbor mows their yard. I paint my house, they're going to paint their house. I put out landscaping, they're going to put out landscaping. Well, it caught on downtown, and it's an excitement in the air that where I'm so happy to see and thankful that, thankful that we can be proud of a community. And I was in an out-of-town specialist the other day, and he commented, did have no idea that I was the mayor of Campbellsville, and he said, Campbellsville's a beautiful place. What are you all doing down there? And he, like I said, he didn't even know I was mayor, but what a compliment. A person out of town, 60 miles away, talk about how beautiful Campbellsville is. So we're doing some good things. We got a lot more work to do, and yes, we need to continue beautification projects.
We are conducting this podcast as one of a series for the upcoming November 6th election. Voters will be going to the polls to vote not only for your race, but for other races. Is there a specific characteristic of yourself or your leadership style, something that you feel that voters should know about, the last message you deliver to voters that would set you apart, not just from your opponent, but from any of the other candidates who might be running for public office?
Sure. There are new Campbellsville beautification projects, new green spaces, renovations, clean water projects, parks, and recreations, and roadways and trails. There's more improvements going on now in Campbellsville that's been happening in decades. Campbellsville is growing. There's excitement in the air. People are getting involved, and they can see their future. What can be done under my leadership? And the proof is in the projects I just mentioned. We've cleaned up our house. We're ready for company to come. And we're open for business and people to come to Campbellsville to make it their new home. And guess what? The best is yet to come. I'm not finished. I'm the mayor that builds things. I'm the mayor that strives to make things better. And with your help, we can do it together. So please go vote. Go vote to re-elect your mayor, Tony Young.
Mr. Young, thank you very much. And thank you all very much for joining us for this webcast. As I mentioned, this is one of a series that we've conducted for state, local, and legislative offices. So if you haven't found those already, please go check them out. And also, please, if you would, November 6th, please go vote. Thank you and God bless.